What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Limp Bizkit's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Masterpiece scaled roller from a company called Mod Fans. One of these pop-up companies. Very strange. The whole thing is very strange. I'm very confused by all of it, but maybe we'll have some moments of clarity after we are finished with the review. This is all known to me from Jordan W. I'm not sure if I already said that, but if I didn't, I'll say it again. He dropped off a number of things, most of which we'll be looking at on Patreon, but we are going to look at this here because it's Masterpiece. So that being said, let's get started, but in order to get started, we got to start with accessories. So he comes with a pistol, not a very impressive sculpt at all, and not painted, which is somewhat surprising because most of this guy is. However, he can hold it just fine. He can also store it on his back. He also comes with this gun, which I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to be, some sort of, energy firing device. Sculpt, once again, not impressive, black plastic. He can also hold it just fine, and it can peg into his back. Now, those guns can also form up together to create a rifle, and that is at least a bit more interesting to look at. And of course, all of those options can peg in to the back of vehicle mode. It also comes with a hose. It's not covered in the instructions, so I'm not 100% sure what its purpose is. However, you can plug it into the back of this weapon, and then I don't know where you plug it. Will it go around here? No. Let's see, maybe go inside one of the screw holes or something. You can go inside of, no, I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to do with it. Doesn't seem to be completely realized. And we'll get inside on the head sculpt for Dennis. It's not the most impressive head sculpt, I'll be honest with you. Something in the nose and mouth looks a little doofy, but it is fully painted. 2 shades of silver, 1 gunmetal, and 1 proper silver with a metallic blue for the eyes. It looks great. The head is on a ball peg with limited up, nothing really down, and then a swivel, slight confused roller face. Now, there's actually some impressive articulation engineering in the torso. Impressive and surprising. So you have a waist swivel. Nothing surprising or impressive necessarily there. You have a bit of a teapot and an ab crunch. All of that's on a ball peg. Smart, clever, works well enough. The shoulders, not great. So they're on a hinge at the chest, and then they come out to a ball peg. The ball peg is pretty much useless. Very limited range of motion. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow gets you the full run. Wrist up and down, and swivel. That flap wants to come undone. Once again, the arms are fully painted. The chest is fully painted. Nothing to scoff at there. Let's continue backing out. Look at the hips. We have universals for hips for the full Van Damme and the full Monty. Could have used some ratchets, I'll be honest with you. Thigh swivel, nice ratchets in the knees, very nice, getting you slightly past 90 degrees. Ankles, you get a ankle tilt up, ankle tilt down, and then a very limited rocker. So the ankles leave a fair amount to be desired as well. Nice accents that I think are going to come through a bit better in alt mode, so we'll kind of wait on those, and then there he is from the back. Size comparison wise, there he is with a couple Masterpiece offerings. We have the Cliff Jumper from X-Transbots and the Jazz from MMC Make Toys. So he's a little bit smaller than a Masterpiece car, but a bit bigger than a Minibot. All right, let's get him transformed. So open up these flaps here on the forearms, tuck the hands in. That's an easy one that we can kind of just get out of the way. You want to open up this panel here and this panel here, which will allow you to take the forearm, wrap it back onto itself, and plug in. So panel 1, panel 2, forearm comes up and over. And I like the little sculpted details there. Like, they didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? But they did. I like that. And then the tires can come out. And then we got to deal with all this. So open up your backpack. Open up these pieces. Straighten the head out. Collapse the backpack over top of the head. And then open up your flank pieces. Now, these entire arm sections, let me see if I can't get a spudger to show you, have a female to a male here. But it's a little challenging to manipulate this shoulder joint. Let me see if I can get this one. Oh, I'm sorry, because I forgot to flip that piece out. Now it'll go. I'm a doof. There. So, same on this side, because otherwise you can't clear the articulation hinge. There. Up and over. Peg in. These can come down, but you can kind of leave these out for now, to be honest. We'll deal with this. I'm not exactly sure what the best way to handle this is either. You see, like, because it would be best if you could put these down first. Maybe you can. They have to peg in to this section here. But it doesn't line up quite right. There. There. Just feels like you kind of had to like shove it into place. And then this piece has to come and sit behind it. You know, and I wonder if I shouldn't have done that first, but... There. All right, and then you got your wheels out to the side. Whew, that's the upper body. Flip the tires out. This one has to be rotator shifted down to provide space between those two. Same on this side. And flip your heels in. On this side, you have to take this section. It double hinges up. And, I mean, I think that's it. Tab the legs together. These ratchets are nice, but they can get a little bit in the way during this section of it. So make sure this is flipped out. Little stuff like this, like I wish like these pegged in. Do you know what I mean? To stay secured. Peg that in. All right. Make sure that these are up and out of the way. All right. And there's pegs in the back of the feet. There's two sections of two pegs, and one go in the pelvis and one go in the back. Then push these down. Straighten out your wheels as best you can. Then you can bring these flaps down, and then these flaps down, and then the same on this side. And I mean, that's it. I'll clean them up. We'll take a look at them. And I think it's effective enough. It looks the part, you know, rolls like a champ. Love the red line work on the wheels there. The translucents add a nice little element to it. Yellow paint in the front, the black accents for the seats, and the kind of windshield there, for lack of a better term. Translucent little light up top. You know, a couple exhaust ports in the back. Rolls. Thus the name, am I right? So yeah, I don't have any issue with this. I think this is good enough. There it is next to Tiger Tracks, and I'll show you one other thing. There it is with MP10. And you know, I think it's kind of charming, honestly. Let's see. Open this up here in the back. Let's see if we can fit him in there. Does he go? He does. I think that's important. So yeah, well done. Final thoughts-wise, we'll start with the negatives. Limited range of motion in the shoulders, limited range of motion in the ankles, cause for some significant limitations in posing this guy successfully or dynamically. This pose, I think, is fairly well done, but even in this pose, the ankle doesn't quite work. There's a couple build issues along the way that affect robot mode specifically, like the flaps on the forearms kind of flail about on mine. That could be an individual results will vary kind of thing, but I can only attest to the one I'm dealing with. I'm not crazy about the head sculpt. It's not awful. I just don't care for it. It looks uninspired to me. And the hose thing should have had a place to plug in properly, in my opinion. And the guns look dumb. This guy actually has a pretty interesting sculpt for the rest of his body. And I mean, even the face, while it's not my cup of tea, I can't deny that it's at least got some stuff going on with it. The guns just look like they were designed by the child of the person that did the rest of this. There's a couple of things throughout the transformation that I wish kind of pegged in or plugged in a bit better, like the wheels into the side of the vehicle, for instance. It also feels like there's something weird with the order of operations for those flaps that make up his like collarbone and back area, and then how they peg in and sort out for vehicle mode. And that's really it. As for the positives, I really like a lot of the sculpt work throughout. All those details and panel lines on the lower legs in particular stand out to me. The accents work great. The yellow accents on the knees, the red lining on the inside of the tires on the legs. Even the blue visor like really pops against all the dark silver use. I'm still somewhat surprised by the amount of articulation in the torso, and it's done in a fairly smart way. The materials feel good, and I love the ratchets in the lower knee. Transformation-wise, it's pretty straightforward. There's a couple little clumsy parts along the way, but for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. The alt mode looks great next to Prime, which I think is important here. Paint accents come through, different types, translucent plastics, etc., etc. Fits in the trailer. So it's a pretty good figure. I don't know if this is their first release or not. Certainly the first one I've been made aware of, but I wish this company the best. I hope to see more. I think they have a future. If they want it, time will tell, I suppose. But it's good enough for a recommend from me. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.